Hello and welcome straight from New Delhi. You're watching DD India Live. I'm Gautam Roy, and coming up in the next 30 minutes. The Balochistan Liberation Army says it has hijacked a train in Pakistan. The separatists have threatened to kill the passengers if their demands are not met. India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi gets a memorable reception in Mauritius, meets the island nation's President Dharambir Gokul. And Asian stock markets tank amid mounting fears of a serious downturn in the world's largest economy on the back of US President Donald Trump's tariff war. India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi, who is in Mauritius on a two-day visit, called on the President of the Republic of Mauritius, Dharambir Gokul. The Prime Minister gifted holy Sangam water from the Mahakumbh in a brass and copper pot to the Mauritian President and also gifted makhana, a superfood from Bihar, to him. Separately, Prime Minister Modi also gifted a Banarsi sari in a Sadeli box to the Mauritian President's wife. The Banarsi sari, originating from Varanasi, is a symbol of luxury and cultural heritage, known for its fine silk, intricate brocades and opulent zari work. This exquisite sari comes in a royal blue shade adorned with silver zari motifs, a broad zari border and a richly detailed pallu, making it ideal for weddings, festivals and grand celebrations. Complementing the sari is a Sadeli box from Gujarat, featuring intricate inlay work designed to store precious saris, jewellery or safekeep. Earlier, the Prime Minister visited Sir Sivasagar Ramgulam Botanical Garden, where he paid homage to Sir Sivasagar Ramgulam and Sir Anirudh Jagnod, two great leaders who've made indelible contributions to Mauritius' progress. Prime Minister Modi also planted a bale sapling in the garden under Ek Ped Maa Ke Naam, that is an initiative to plant trees for Mother. Prior to this, Prime Minister Modi had undertaken a similar initiative during his visit to Guyana as well. Due to the incessant efforts of Prime Minister Modi, the initiative has resulted in the planting of more than 1 billion trees in India, with a total of over 27,500 trees already planted in around 136 countries across the world. And the PM also visited the Ayurveda garden in the State House, established in collaboration with the Government of India. Prime Minister Modi noted that Mauritius is an important partner for India in advancing the benefits of traditional medicine, including Ayurveda. And earlier, upon his arrival at Mauritius' capital, Port Louis, earlier in the morning, Prime Minister Modi received a grand and warm welcome. As a special gesture, Mauritian Prime Minister Naveen Ramgoolam welcomed his Indian counterpart with a warm hug. There were a total of 200 dignitaries present to welcome Prime Minister Modi at this early hour, including MPs, MLAs, diplomatic corps and religious leaders. The PM was also accorded with a ceremonial reception at the airport. He is set to attend Mauritius' National Day celebrations as its chief guest on Wednesday. And the Prime Minister also got a rousing welcome on his arrival by the members of the Indian community. Chants of Modi Modi echoed throughout the place as Prime Minister Modi waved at the onlookers and then he mingled with them, which is customary for the PM whenever he visits any foreign nation, because the Indian diaspora is the largest in the world. Even in Mauritius, 70% of the country's, the island nation's population is made up of people of Indian origin. And as Prime Minister Modi was conducting his first day in Mauritius through several events, India's Ministry of External Affairs shared an overview of his meetings and programs for the day.
Namaste. The Prime Minister of India, Shri Narendra Modi, has arrived in Mauritius on his historic state visit. At the airport, on arrival, he was warmly received in a special gesture by Prime Minister of Mauritius, His Excellency Dr. Naveen Chandra Ramgoolam. There were several other dignitaries to welcome him at the airport. There was ceremonial welcome, and at the hotel we had the Indian community members giving him a rousing welcome in Mauritius. Around evening, he meets or addresses the Indian community diaspora here in Mauritius along with the Prime Minister of Mauritius. And in the evening, he has a meeting with the Prime Minister, who will also be hosting a banquet in his honor. Tomorrow is a big day, National Day of Mauritius. Prime Minister will be participating as a chief guest in the national celebrations of their Independence Day.
And a Bihari tradition was part of Prime Minister Modi's reception in Mauritius. He was welcomed by a traditional Geet Gavai performance as well. Geet Gavai is a traditional Bhojpuri musical ensemble that embodies the rich cultural heritage brought to Mauritius by women from the Bhojpuri belt in India. In recognition of its cultural significance, Geet Gavai was inscribed on UNESCO's representative list of the intangible cultural heritage of humanity in December 2016. Let's get you more on Prime Minister Modi's Mauritius visit. DD India's Akshay Dongre joins us live from Port Louis. Hi there, Akshay. The Prime Minister has had quite a whirlwind day on the first day of his Mauritius visit itself already. Is there more, and what does that tell us about the India-Mauritius relationship?
Well, Gautam, you have rightly mentioned that it was quite a hectic day. In fact, Prime Minister Narendra Modi landed here at 6 a.m. in the morning, and after that, he has been having one after another bilateral engagements with the top leadership of Mauritius. And we are right now present at the venue of the community event that will be that has been hosted by the Mauritian government here, as well as the Indian diaspora. Right? President Narendra Modi will be coming here too and interacting with the members of the Indian diaspora. Now, the question that what does it tell us about the significance of this visit, as well as the significance of the Indian diaspora. Clearly, a diaspora that comprises about 70% of the population of the country is quite significant as far as the politics is concerned of the country, the development of the country, as well as all the other aspects of the society here of Mauritius, which in fact has very, very close ties to India as far as culture is concerned, the traditions, the language. In fact, even the QC is quite similar to that we see in several parts of our country. So Prime Minister will be coming here, and people have been waiting for hours, standing in queue just to get a glimpse of Prime Minister Narendra Modi to hear what he has to say, to see him in person. So it is quite an exciting time as far as here this trip in Mauritius is concerned, because people clearly can't wait enough to just get a glimpse of Prime Minister Narendra Modi, who is being seen as a star here in Mauritius, especially given the fact that under the leadership of Prime Minister Narendra Modi, not only the ties between the two countries have strengthened to significant levels, but also the expectation that this visit will further cement the ties, the cultural, trade, economic ties between the two nations, along with the question of maritime security and as the connect, defense connect between the two countries as well.
Right. And what's in store, Akshay, for day 2 in terms of further strengthening India-Mauritius ties?
Well, one of the most important event that is slated for tomorrow is the National Day celebrations of Mauritius. In fact, it is a very important day for both the countries. On 12th of March, Mahatma Gandhi started his Salt March, and here on 12th of March, Mauritius gain independence as well as the republic for the country, and that is the reason why both the countries, March has quite a significant significant a day in the history of both the countries. So Prime Minister will be the chief guest there as far as the parade is concerned, along with the Indian contingent that will also be taking part in the parade, including the NCC cadet contingent that will be marching alongside their Mauritian counterparts. And we will also see Indian naval ships that will march past as far as the celebrations are concerned, along with the aerobatic exercises that will be displayed by the Indian Air Force teams that will also take part in the National Day celebrations of the country.
Right. All right, let's see how things go. Akshay, thanks a lot for joining us for the moment from Port Louis, Mauritius. Now, in Pakistan, the Jafar Express en route from Quetta to Peshawar has been hijacked in the restive province of Balochistan. According to Mohammad Kashif, a senior railway government official in Quetta, over 450 passengers on board are being held hostage. Reports also suggest intense firing at the train. The attack was immediately claimed by the Balochistan Liberation Army. The armed attackers wounded the driver as they took control of the train in a remote area. The group warned of severe consequences if an attempt is made to rescue the hostages. The Federation of Indian Export Organizations launched the SheTrades India Hub in collaboration with the International Trade Centre in New Delhi on Tuesday. Funded by the UK government's Commonwealth Plus programme, it is the 20th SheTrades Hub for women entrepreneurs globally. DD India's Tadvi Taneja reports that the hub has great potential to expand women's opportunities in global trade.
Former UK Prime Minister Margaret Thatcher once said, "If you want something said, ask a man. If you want something done, ask a woman." This was the idea that reverberated at the launch of the SheTrades India Hub, a significant initiative aimed at empowering women entrepreneurs. The Federation of Indian Export Organizations, FIO, launched the SheTrades India Hub in collaboration with the International Trade Centre, ITC, in New Delhi.
The SheTrades Hub has been around for about 10 years, and we have 19 other hubs around the world. This will be the 20th hub, and we're launching one in Sri Lanka in 2 days, and that will be the 21st. India is one of the largest, if not the largest, single democracy in the world, and also one of the most dynamic when it comes to women's entrepreneurship. And so we wanted to take advantage of this opportunity to be in a space where women have been so empowered, are continuing to be empowered, and as part of the policy for the government, to look at how we can make women's vitality and economic engagement part of the future for India.
I mean, it's really exciting to be here today at the launch of the SheTrades Hub in India. This is the 20th hub that's opened globally, and it is designed specifically to support young women entrepreneurs scale their business and give them practical advice, mentorship, guidance and support as they seek to start exporting and to grow their export business.
Funded by the UK government's SheTrades Commonwealth Plus programme, SheTrades India Hub would provide Indian women entrepreneurs with the tools and networks necessary to thrive in international markets.
One of the things which is going to be extremely important is availability of mentorship and guidance under this particular initiative. This mentorship will not only be to guide them on how to start export, how to explore markets, how to participate in events, but also to connect them at the back end with many of the building blocks which are required. For example, access to trade financing system, access to factoring services, access to insurance services when they are exporting. We will look forward to FIO onboarding more than 3 lakh women entrepreneurs in the short run. That is 300,000 women entrepreneurs.
But why SheTrades? Because advancing gender equality could inject as much as $13 trillion to the global GDP by 2030.
Gender equality is the unfinished business of our time. And it's a particular pleasure to be here for this launch of the SheTrades India Hub, because this is not just about trade, of course, but this is about transformation.
With the launch of SheTrades India Hub, the community of women entrepreneurs globally just gets bigger and better, because investing in women delivers. Tanvi Taneja for DD India.
And still to come on this edition of DD India Live. Kurdish-led and US-backed Syrian democratic forces have signed a deal to integrate into Syria's new state institutions. And Greenland's Prime Minister was among early voters on Tuesday for the island's parliamentary election dominated by Donald Trump's takeover push.
What is more important, fixing the present or planning for the future? Innovators across the globe rethinking the way we live to secure a better future for us.
I found out about the Rahi trade-in scheme. I went to the agency and discovered that I could receive a subsidy for this e-rickshaw.
We basically mirror
Now we're playing out some shots for you that we've got from Mauritius, where Prime Minister Modi has borne gifts from the Indian people for Mauritius's first family. You can see in the frame that's the President of Mauritius with his spouse, his better half. That's President Dharmbir Gokul, and he has presented multiple gifts. You can see that's the sari, the Banarsi sari that's been specially brought over by Prime Minister from India for the wife of the Mauritian President. That was also presented in a very nice looking box. It's of Gujarati origin, and those are Bihar's makhanas in different flavors. It seems that Prime Minister Modi has
80-90% मखाना और ये न्यूट्रिशन दूसरे से बहुत ही वैल्यूएबल बस स्पेशल ये लिखा है वैसे मैं मेरे रेगुलर नाश्ते में थोड़ा बहुत लेने की आदत है मुझे ये महाकुंभ विजय संपन्न हुआ और दुनिया का सबसे बड़ा ये इवेंट मानव जाति के इतिहास का करीब 66 करोड़ लोग वहाँ आए तो जिस मुहूर्त में ये महाकुंभ होता है उसी मुहूर्त का ये गंगा जल है इसमें दो चीज है ये मेरे होम स्टे गुजरात का अच्छा और ये जहाँ मेरी कर्मभूमि बनी है काशी ये बनारस के साड़ी है तमिलनाडु से गणेश जी के भिन्न भिन्न रूप है एक बड़ा यूनिक सा वहाँ तमिलनाडु के लोग को करते हैं और जिसके लिए मुझे बड़ा गर्व होता है ये है मखाना बिहार का अकेला ही राज्य है जो करीब 80-90% मखाना और ये न्यूट्रिशन दूसरे से बहुत ही वैल्यूएबल बस स्पेशल ये लिखा है वैसे मैं मेरे रेगुलर नाश्ते में थोड़ा बहुत लेने की आदत है मुझे ये महाकुंभ विजय संपन्न हुआ और दुनिया का सबसे बड़ा ये इवेंट मानव जाति के इतिहास का करीब 66 करोड़ लोग वहाँ आए तो जिस मुहूर्त में ये महाकुंभ होता है उसी मुहूर्त का ये गंगा जल है इसमें दो चीज
So there you saw Prime Minister Modi gifting certain items to the first family of Mauritius, the President of Mauritius and his wife, President Dharmbir Gokul, including a copper and brass pot which had the water from the Sangam during the Mahakumbh that just concluded in Prayagraj, and he also gifted makhana, which is a superfood from Bihar, for the President and his wife as well. And separately in a very nice box, it's called a Sadeli box from the PM's home state of Gujarat, that the Prime Minister presented the First Lady of Mauritius with a Banarsi sari, that blue coloured sari that you could see in the box. And apart from that, quite a warm meeting between the leaders of the two countries. All right, now moving on. US and Ukrainian officials have begun their talks in Jeddah in Saudi Arabia on Tuesday to explore a path towards ending the war with Russia. US Secretary of State Marco Rubio and Ukraine's Foreign Minister Andrei Sybiga attended that meeting, while President Trump has increased pressure on Ukraine to end the conflict. The talks follow a tense exchange 11 days ago between President Zelensky and Trump. Zelensky hopes to restore pragmatic ties with the US after the contentious meeting. He suggested an initial truce with Russia in air and sea operations to align with Trump's goal of a quick resolution. Zelensky's chief of staff, Andriy Yermak, called the meeting very constructive. The US has halted military aid and intelligence sharing with Ukraine, a shift in policy after Trump accused Zelensky of not being ready for peace. Ukraine hopes its ceasefire offer will convince Washington to resume support. And Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky also attended an award ceremony in Kyiv on Sunday. Zelensky made a joke about not wearing a suit during the ceremony. Zelensky's clothing became a topic of discussion on the 28th of February during his meeting with US President Donald Trump.
I once again congratulate the winners of this year. I am very grateful to all Ukrainian creators. Apologies that I am not wearing a suit.
At least 3 people were killed in Moscow's southern suburbs after Ukraine struck the Russian capital with the largest drone attack on Monday. Russia repelled the massive attack, claiming to have shot down 337 drones across the country. As many as 91 drones were intercepted near the capital, while another 126 were downed in the Kursk region near the Ukrainian border. The attack comes just hours before a high-level meeting that has been taking place between US and Ukrainian officials in Jeddah in Saudi Arabia, where discussions are being focused on getting to some sort of a ceasefire during the ongoing conflict. Now, the Kurdish-led and US-backed Syrian Democratic Forces have signed a deal agreeing to integrate into Syria's new state institutions. The deal, which included a complete cessation of hostilities, was signed by interim Syrian President Ahmed al-Sharaa and the SDF's commander Mazloum Abdi. Under the deal, all civilian and military institutions in northeast Syria will be integrated within the state, which will thus take over control of borders, airports and oil and gas fields. Meanwhile, a surge in violence in the country's Alawite region resulted in gunfighting on the streets of Syria's Latakia. Interim Syrian President Ahmed al-Sharaa has said on Monday that such incidents of violence threaten his efforts to unite Syria after 14 years of conflict. Greenland's Prime Minister Mutebi Egede was among the early voters who queued up to cast their ballots as polls opened on Tuesday morning for the parliamentary election of Inatsisartut. For many Greenland residents, this election represents a historic opportunity to break free from Danish rule, especially as US President Donald Trump has offered to invest billions if Greenland joins the United States. The election for the 31-seat parliament could potentially increase US influence over the sparsely populated island, which is at the center of a geopolitical race for dominance in the Arctic. The results will be announced on Wednesday. Asian markets plunged on Tuesday as fears of a trade war triggering a US recession fueled global sell-off. Investors scrambled for safe haven assets like the Japanese yen, while stocks across Japan, Taiwan and China tumbled. Japan's Nikkei and Taiwan's benchmark index both slid 3%, reaching their lowest level since September 2024. Even China's strong performing blue chip index dropped 0.5%, while Hong Kong's Hang Seng fell 0.8%. Excuse me. The sell-off follows Wall Street's sharp decline on Monday, where the S&P 500 saw its biggest one-day drop this year, losing 2.7%, while the Nasdaq suffered a 4% plunge, its worst since 2022. Sports now, and after a year of controversy, the Wrestling Federation of India is officially back. The Sports Ministry has revoked the Federation's suspension, ensuring India's wrestlers can compete internationally without disruption. India's Sports Minister Mansukh Mandavia said, as per the High Court order, the ministry decided to lift the sanctions so that our wrestlers can participate in the Asian and World Championships. This also gives justice, looking at the future of our wrestlers. And that's all we have for this edition of DD India Live. But let us know your thoughts on the news of the day. For those on the go, you can get all the latest news and updates from India and across the world on DD India's mobile app. It's available on both Android and iOS. You can scan the QR code on the screen and download the app right away. And we'll be back with more news as it breaks here on DD India. I'm Gautam Roy, and from all of us there in Delhi, thanks for watching DD India Live.